And welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to share the latest housing market trends across the United States. I'm going to give you updates regarding home prices, housing inventory, home sales, and much, much more. So with that said, I have so much to share in today's video, so let's go ahead and dive right into the video here. This is a new report from Redfin. These are the key takeaways for 400 plus US metro areas. And by the way, this is for the 4 weeks ending May 8th of this year. So here's the latest trends we have right now. The median home sold price increased to an all-time record high of 17% year over year to just under $400,000. And by the way, I have highlighted each of the trends that have reached an all-time record high or an all-time record low. In any case, we're seeing all-time record highs for home prices right now. And also we're seeing a new all-time record high for the median asking price of a newly listed house that also increased 17% year over year to just over $400,000. Also, the average monthly mortgage payment on the median asking price home rose to a new all-time record high of $2,427 per month, given the current 5.3% mortgage rate. That's actually up 44% compared to 1 year ago, and that's also a new all-time record high. So what they basically do in order to calculate this figure here is they look at what's the current mortgage rate and also what is the current asking price and compare that to 1 year ago, what the prices were and mortgage rates were 1 year ago. So that's where they get this increase of 44% compared to 1 year ago. Meanwhile, pending home sales decreased 6% year over year. This is the largest decrease since June of 2020, which I mentioned in my previous video. This is a leading indicator because if pending home sales are decreasing, that could be a sign, or probably is a sign, that home buying demand is decreasing as well. On top of this, new listings were down 5% compared to a year ago and have been down on a year over year basis for the majority of the time since September of 2021. So for those who want to see a housing market crash for home prices to decrease greatly, we need the number of new listings to increase greatly as well. But we're not seeing that just yet, but I'll definitely keep you posted. Yet another record that was broken was days on the market. That actually went down to 15 days to a new all-time record low. 1 year ago, it took 20.2 days to sell a house. Also, a record 57% of houses sold above their list price or their asking price. That's actually up from 48% 1 year ago. So as you can see here, our housing market still remains very competitive. However, a lot of these trends here are lagging indicators though, and we really haven't seen the full effects of mortgage rates above 5% like we're seeing right now. So obviously right now we have a strong seller's market across the United States on average, but it's not as elevated compared to 1 year ago though. So 1 year ago, our housing market was basically going 100 miles per hour. Now we're going approximately 60 miles per hour. And the reason why we're going 60 miles per hour and not 100 miles per hour is that mortgage rates have been increasing greatly. And of course, we have all-time record highs for home prices, which is further causing issues with housing affordability. And because of all that, we're starting to see some early signs that home buying demand is decreasing, right? So on average, according to Redfin here, 4% of homes for sale each week had a price drop. Overall, 16.1% dropped their list price over the past 4 weeks. That's actually up from 11.7% a month earlier and 9.2% from 1 year ago. This is now the highest share of price drops since late October of last year. And yet another record that was broken was the average sale to list price ratio reached an all-time record high of 102.8. So what this basically means is that home sellers sold their houses for 2.8% more than their asking price on average. All right, with that said, I want to share some graphics with you guys to show how this year compares to prior years. So here's the median sold price. Again, it's increased 16.6% compared to 1 year ago. It has reached an all-time record high of $397,000 compared to 1 year ago. We were at approximately $330,000. Also, the median asking price, which is the average home price that a home seller asks for a home for sale, has increased to a new all-time record high of $411,000. That's a gain of 17.4% compared to a year ago. I mean, look at the trajectory there. It has been increasing greatly over the past month. We did not see that in 2021. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with these current listings. Are we going to see more and more price drops, or are they going to be selling very quickly? I'll definitely keep you posted regarding that. Meanwhile, the average home buyer mortgage payments shot up 44.1% compared to a year ago. I mean, look at this, basically going straight up compared to prior years. 2021's this line right here, which basically during this time was more or less flat all year, but right now it's been shooting up greatly to levels we have not seen ever. This is an all-time record high, $2,427. That's the average mortgage payment based on the median asking price of a house based on current mortgage rates. So that's $2,427. That's principal and interest only payment, by the way. But compare that to 1 year ago, it was approximately $1,685 per month. Here's a really good graphic I want to share with you guys to show how crazy high home buyer mortgage payments are right now. So at the beginning of this year, again, the average for the average home buyer payment was $1,685 per year. Now it's $2,400 per year. So in other words, that's an increase of $742 more in just this year alone. So from January to the middle or the beginning of May, it has increased approximately $742 per month. What's so remarkable regarding this big increase of $742 more per month is that we have not seen this increase in the last 7 years. So have a look at this, because at the beginning of 2022, again, the average payment for home buyers was $1,685. But back at the beginning of 2015, the average mortgage payment was approximately, $1,100 per month? So from 2015 to 2022, which by the way is 7 years, it increased by $585 per month. So in other words, it only took about 4.5 months to increase over $700 per month. However, it took the last 7 years to only increase by $585 per month. And this is one big reason why housing affordability is going to be causing a housing market slowdown, in my personal opinion. Okay, changing gears slightly, let's talk about pending home sales, because those have decreased by 5.7% compared to 2021, which the blue line here is 2021. Again, the red line is 2022. As you can see, ever since the beginning of this year, the trends in pending home sales have been more or less in line with 2021 ever since April. But ever since mortgage rates hit approximately 5%, which by the way, at the beginning of April, mortgage rates hit around 5% on average, that has been basically peeling away from 2021. As you can see here, the decrease is now 5.7%, but back in March, it more or less was the same. And as I mentioned, we're not seeing a big increase in the number of new listings hitting the market right now, at least not yet. Overall, compared to 1 year ago, we're actually down 4.7% compared to 2021. Obviously, we need a lot more houses to be listed for sale in order to cool off this housing market, which frankly is very much needed. Meanwhile, 56% of pending home sales went under contract within 2 weeks, which basically means 6 out of every 10 houses that gets listed for sale goes under contract within the first 2 weeks, which is pretty remarkable. At 55.8%, which basically was more or less in line with 2021. Also, about 42% accept an offer within 1 week. That has been decreasing slightly like it did in 2021. The share is basically more or less the same compared to last year. Also, houses are still selling very quickly. The average days on the market, which is a time period when a home seller lists their house to when they accept an offer from a home buyer, is 15 days, an all-time record low. However, this is a lagging indicator because this is for houses that have actually sold or have closed escrow. In any case, compared to 1 year ago, days on the market was approximately 20 days. Now we're at 15 days. In 2020, it was just under 40 days to sell a house. Also, 57% of houses sold above their list price. Again, a lagging indicator. This is an all-time record high, far above the last couple of years as well. So here's the percent of price drops. I went over this in my previous video, but I want to briefly touch on it because we're starting to see that big increase in the number of listings that have price reductions. Again, a very small share, only 4%, which basically means 96% of all homes are selling for their asking price or more. However, the share has basically doubled ever since the beginning of this year, because in January, the share of listings with price drops was approximately 2%, which was in line with 2021, but we have peeled away and have been increasing greatly. We're at 4% right now compared to approximately 2.25% compared to 1 year ago. So comment below with your biggest takeaways from today's video. Also, if you got any value out of today's video whatsoever, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. Hope you have an awesome day. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.